Lynn, what are the challenges of a game that's the flow is messed up with too many stop and starts, and how does that affect a rhythm on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, that was ugly. That was hard to watch. With just 72 free throws.
Right.
Like, I get it. They're trying to clean it up, but it's painful. So it is hard. I mean, I think Toronto went 5 minutes in the third quarter without attempting a field goal because they just were shooting free throws. Like, it's amazing. Not saying we weren't fouling or what. It's just, it's ugly. So, to answer your question, it's very challenging.
Anyone else? Eric, back right.
Coach and KP, in an industry with such a myopic focus on the outcomes and wins and losses, what excites you about the possibility and the process of improvement?
Well, I think that's, and I'll let KP answer too, I think that's the beauty of it, right? Like, it is a process, and unfortunately we opened up with 4 games at home. I don't know when the last time that happened for the Sparks, but and we did not take care of business. So we've got 2 options. We can feel sorry for ourselves or we can fix it. And that's part of the process. And there's not a lack of belief in the locker room. There's not a lack of buy-in to each other and what we're trying to do. So that gives me confidence. We're missing Ariel. That's a big piece. We talk about shooting and all those things, and defending. She's one of the best on-ball defenders, and we missed that. I mean, Sykes had, what'd she have, 97? How many did she finish with?
38.
38. We missed that defender out there. So, but there's a lot. It's a long season, but we need to have a sense of urgency now.
John Davis, Southern California News Group. Kate, how did it feel out there finally scoring your first points for the Sparks, and then also for UKP? What was it like, reuniting with her and playing some quality minutes?
It felt good. I appreciate the team for welcoming me, making it an easy transition for me. But keeping the main thing, want to win. I don't really care how many points I score, we just want to win. I just want to win, so.
Yeah, Kate was awesome. I think she's had amazing energy. I think too, just like she's a super smart player. So to come in and kind of get thrown into the fire, expect a lot more of her. I think she could be super impactful for us. And I'm excited to play with Money Martin again.
Mike Keller.
Coach, question for you. Before the game, you talked about starting fast, and today you guys kind of started slow there. What did the tempo do to kind of halt you guys, or what did it just come down to just not making shots early on?
Yeah, we've had we're not. I don't know how to say this, but say this and how I mean it. But we're just not in rhythm offensively right now, and that's, to me, missing some shots we normally hit, kick out threes, not making them the way we want to, and then not getting stops. It puts so much pressure on your offense. Especially you get down a couple possessions and you just can't get stops, and it just puts pressure on your offense, and that makes the rim a little smaller. It makes KP have to do too much, and she was phenomenal today, but we got to have other people share the load in being fearless and moving the ball.
Second row.
Hi, Rachel with Sirius XM. KP and Kate, for both of you, I saw both of you today. Kate, you on the bench really cheering on your team, and then KP, it seemed like you tilted up Ray's chin at some point when she was a little frustrated about being in foul trouble. Being, in game and cheerleading your squad, can you just talk a little bit about why that's so important and why, you all felt the need to give that extra juice to your teammates today?
Yeah, I think, as a player, you always want to be uplifted and empowered, and I think I always just try to make sure I reiterate, I believe in you, keep playing. Things happen in this league, you're going to miss shots, you're going to make mistakes, but you got to keep playing and keep going back. And I think that's a muscle that you got to grow in terms of your resilience, right? And that's something that we're going to have moving forward, because in this league, it's not a matter of if you get punched, it's when you get punched, you got to be able to take it and punch back. And like I said, like that's a muscle that we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to need it, because this is the toughest league in the world.
Yeah, to piggyback off of what KP said is, that's something in your control, is the energy and the attitude you bring every single day. And so it's like, why not pour into others? And that's just always kind of been my mindset. And honestly, the best way to get out of your own head is to pour into somebody else. So everybody can use that. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's KP, like scoring so many points. It doesn't matter. Everybody wants to, hear positive affirmations. And so I think it's just super important.
On your left, last question, Justin.
Lynn, earlier you mentioned the team has to have a sense of urgency. How do you guys balance having urgency without falling into a panic to fix this?
Yeah, those are two very different things. So I think, we're 4 games in. It would be immature to panic. But urgency is, it happens as an individual, player, coaches, whatever, doing your job with an intensity and a focus. Executing with that intensity and focus. That's what urgency looks like, feels like. You can, as a coach, I can tell when the team has that sense of urgency. It's how they show up to practice. It's how they show up to film. It's not having a woe is me attitude, a victimhood or whatever, myself included. Like, we've just got to keep attacking and show up. We need a day off. It's been a long, 4 games in 8 days or whatever it is. And then on Tuesday, we go on the road for 4, so we've got to, I don't even know. I know we go on the road for 2.
Yeah.
And so, we've got to break it up into little parts and have an urgency of how we do our work. Practice, film, game time, preparation. That's what urgency looks like.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.